Welcome, everybody, to episode 59, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
59 of the Rap Cave podcast. I am Chris Platte, a.k.a. Platte Paz, with the crew. My guys, I got Zay.
What's up, y'all?
I got returning. I got my boy Eric, EB.
What up, guys?
EB.
EB, I like EB.
We got Potty.
Hold up.
We got Potty.
I was part-time potty for a little bit, but I apologize. We were out of
But
payroll.
I
We were out of
I
payroll.
apologize.
We were out of payroll.
We were out of payroll.
Yeah.
We couldn't afford the potty budget.
Yeah,
Is really what it was.
Yeah, it was, my
We had to
budget
pay
was too
big
high.
bucks for this. We had to pay big bucks for
Listen,
this.
bro.
You see what it is.
He's exclusive, bro. I tried to get in touch with him. You know his little assistant that
No,
he
I had
got,
to
bro.
go through his
Yeah.
manager.
His manager.
I had to go
I
through
got
his
the
manager.
assistant.
Shit was
You
so
did?
I
crazy.
didn't go through his
I couldn't even get the manager.
Let me give you the direct.
You gotta
line.
give me the-
I'll give
okay.
you the direct.
You
line
got
to
the hookup, bro,
manager.
because I can't get in
got
touch.
the
Hey,
hookup
look,
to the
look,
manager.
I had to go through his manager. He said, "Yeah, my name's Money Murr. I'm Adi's manager." That's crazy. I was like, "Damn, for real? You his manager?" I was like, "Damn, there's no way y'all could be brothers or something
Man,
like that."
you know what?
Boy
because-
can't manage shit but a fragrance.
Bro, you know what? His assistant said something wild to me. She said, I didn't know he still talked to black people.
She said, "I'm trying to fuck."
We got Big
new to
AP
me.
on the we got Big AP on the ones and
Come on,
twos.
big AP,
No
man.
birdie,
Come on.
no birdie this week. Yeah. Half salute to the fallen soldier. He'll be back next episode.
We're losing a lot next week, though.
Next week is gonna be crazy, dog. Next week, I had a whole bunch of people that were like, "This week I can't, but next week I'm committed." I don't know how. Like 9 people are committed next week. I don't know how we're gonna make this work. We're gonna have to do some jumbling, some rotations.
That's
We're gonna
crazy.
make
You just
it.
invited me to
I
next
did,
week,
I
though.
did,
So,
I did. You got a spot. I invite you. I know a
Yeah.
guy. I'll get you in.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
get
Big
you in.
AP will not be here next week either,
Yeah.
so they're gonna have to figure that shit out one way or another.
We need interns badly. No, So we got.
It's unpaid, but the vibes are heavy.
So what I'll say is this.
Strictly vibes.
What I'll say is this: we'll leave this. We're not gonna get into this. We're not legal experts. I still enjoy it. This lawsuit, basically, UMG responded to Drake's dismissal or Drake's motion to amend the lawsuit. That was funny. I just love lawyers being petty. I love lawyers being petty. Like when Drake's team was like, yeah, at the Super Bowl, nobody knew who Kendrick was except for this one song that damaged my reputation so much. And other than that, he played, quote unquote, a bunch of songs that nobody heard. That was funny. I enjoyed the pettiness. Then UMG comes back and says, this guy clearly shouldn't have a case against us because he lost a battle and he can't accept that he lost a battle and he's a loser. And like it's so funny to watch them just diss each other through like actual like court like jargon where it's not like you suck. It's like no. This guy played this song we never heard of, Cap. This guy lost a battle, can't accept the outcome. Like, it's so funny
It's
to
like
watch
the
them,
battle
like,
continues, but intellectually.
yeah.
exactly. It got intellectual. That shit is funny. And I feel like we got to just stop the podcast to say this because this was a big deal. I saw a whole bunch of Twitter bombs about this. Kendrick Lamar went to a studio. A rapper went to a studio.
Really?
Dude, I saw
They
so
do
many
that?
fucking tweets about Kendrick Lamar heading to a New York City studio.
Oh, I know what you're talking.
A rapper went to a studio. Imagine that. Imagine that.
In the place that he lives.
Imagine that, man. I'm so annoyed with
Yeah,
this
no,
stuff.
everyone.
I'm still finding
everyone
it.
was tweeting. Kendrick spotted walking into the studio.
Bro,
and
social
go,
media is so weird. Go outside.
Yeah.
touch grass. Shut the fuck up.
Meanwhile, that mother
Disconnect.
he just re-recorded
2
Mother Eye
seconds.
Sober.
Social media fucking everyone up. That's what it is.
What?
Social media fucking everyone up.
Yeah. He just hopped in the
That's
studio
true.
and said,
Speak to
"Aubrey
the
is a
truth.
man now."
I was gonna transition Aubrey to Andre, the piano album at the Met Gala. Did you see he had the little piano on his back? Andre's
I have
piano
not
album.
listened to it. I love Andre 3000 as a artist and a person.
What instrument can he do next?
I don't know. It's hard to say because he was playing flute in front of gas stations like 6 years ago. He's been fucking.
Yo, let me get 5 on 20 and that.
Yeah, and matter of fact, let me let that dude fucking serenade me while I'm standing here.
That motherfucker. Imagine Andre 3000. He's got more than your fucking net worth, and he's playing the flute in front of you, and you're like, I'm sorry, sir, I have no money. like imagine that.
Andre 3000 has found the most perfect shrooms ever.
I do have a
just
theory
always
that he
good vibes.
specifically was like dressed homeless that day, so he could look like he was like.
Like one of those, yeah. I mean,
Well,
you
for
see it all
sure,
the
he's
time,
not gonna
yeah.
dress like Andre 3000 to where everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, you're
Yeah,
Andre."
this ain't what you were
Yeah.
wearing on Speaker Box of Love Below, fucking on the music videos and shit. Like,
And also, y'all seen a push at the Met Gal with that motherfucker.
the cocaine suit.
Dude, that motherfucker had a cocaine suit. You know how
Nah, bro.
You know how
I
fly
saw
gotta
the
be-
piano, but not the cocaine suit.
It
No,
was like
let me look it up
it
on
was
here.
a suit and it had all these like white specks on the top side.
Oh,
of it.
really?
Yeah, you gotta fucking see it. It's great.
You were.
yeah,
yeah.
watch this. Look at this.
Oh, okay. I did. Yeah.
Look at that. It's snowing
Dude,
in
it
that
kind of
bitch.
looks like dandruff.
Yeah, either that or I was
don't know,
gonna
yeah,
say.
I don't know.
dandruff.
I don't know, man.
But it's Pusha T. I think we know what he
I
means.
know. It's
You know?
it's
but it
Push.
kind of looks like dandruff.
If I were
too.
wearing it, it'd be dandruff. With
yeah, if you were wearing it, right.
because it's push. It's
yeah.
some coke. Yeah.
Right. Them shit's
I've
diamonds
seen it.
too.
Yeah, I know.
I like it though. I mean,
That bitch is sweet as
he
fuck,
looks,
bro.
he looks
That motherfucker hard. That's diamonds, man.
and that's what everyone said.
That's
was like,
diamonds on a ooh.
I don't know if
with
it's
the
diamonds.
burgundy suit.
I don't know if it's
Ooh.
diamonds, but everyone said, "Push, you ain't slick, dog." Like we know what you're doing. No, I don't.
That
think it's
shit
not, it's
is
not
sick.
I don't
Pusha
think
T, I fuck with it.
it's not diamonds. I can't imagine.
yeah. It's
You can't stick that many diamonds inside and expect them to stay. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm sure he can find a way. I'm sure he can. But no, that was dope. That's all I got for the Met Gal. I'm not a fashion breakdown, but I thought those two things were interesting. The Andre 2000. So not only did he drop the piano album, but he pulled up with a suit that had a piano on the back. I
that
don't
was
even know if it was
crazy.
I don't even know
I don't
if
think
it
it was a real piano. You always hear
Well,
about those
'cause you
being so
can't, yeah.
heavy. Yeah.
No, there's no fucking way, dude. I watch.
No,
I watch way too.
where
I
you can
watch
walk
way
around
too
with
many
it.
cartoons to know what a piano
Yeah.
does something.
Yeah, exactly.
I watch way too many
And
cartoons.
from the cartoons, it seems like they turned into people's teeth at one point.
We're not gonna really touch on this, but I just want to say like the fall off of Ye is confirmed. Like 5.9K for Donda 2. 5.9K.
That
saw
shit
that.
hot in the streets, huh?
That shit going double wood. That shit
shit-
going double wood.
That shit went
They-
double aluminum foil.
Double aluminum foil.
Dang.
I'm honestly very disappointed, bro. Like, honestly,
It's better than Vultures though.
You were the hardest.
Which one?
Vulture, you
Donda 2.
were the hardest Vultures advocate to begin with.
is it though? For me, probably. I'll give you that. I'll give Donna 2 over Vulture for sure.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give that.
And that
But-
sold 5.9K. The
Two-pack
better
ass.
project.
Sold 5.9. I don't even believe that shit. Like his other new album. I don't know if anyone listened to it in this room. Bully, V1.
I did.
Yeah.
Trash.
Fucking,
Oh,
fucking amazing,
V1
bro.
because I can't trust.
Like,
whatever
how
he
is that
puts out.
trash?
This is why I stopped fucking with Kanye.
It's
I'm
better than
fucking
Vultures
over it.
2.
I'm over
Vultures
it.
2 is trash. That was
This
trash.
is like an
Told y'all,
abusive
bro.
relationship
But
that
Bully?
you're just staying
That's
inside.
artistic
You
as
guys
fuck.
are comparing poop to shit.
Y'all not.
I don't understand.
Listen, bro. Y'all not understanding.
This is shit from a butt and poop from an ass.
It's not.
These
It's
are-
not
these
bad,
are what
bro.
we're dealt.
It's just we're too poor to understand it.
Oh, that's what he says, right?
That's right.
I
No,
forgot.
You made a good point.
You know what, Zay?
This
you are
nigga's
so
Dylan,
right.
He,
That
man,
is
he makes
exactly
mu-
what I was
you,
thinking.
who you think? You think Kanye coming down here and playing his music? No, he's going to his friends who make millions of dollars and playing all this shit. And they're like, hell yeah, Kanye, we agree with you.
It's so crazy to me too, because like, especially like the terminally online fucking fuckboys who are like, yeah, no, Kanye's right, this and that. It's like, it's kind of the same way I feel with a lot of these influencers. Is like he's literally telling you how fucking much of a schmuck you are. At every turn, he's saying, you are not worth my time. You are not. And everyone's like, yeah, you're right, Kanye. I'm not worth your time. Like, shut the fuck up. Have some fucking self-respect at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
He thinks he's like a leader. Or some
Kanye's
shit,
reached
though.
a new level of fame where he can literally say whatever
Kanye
he
has
thinks.
spent
and
his
it's
whole
gold.
life trying to be a cult leader.
Yeah.
He spent his whole life. He built a whole church, like, you know. And look, you know, I rocked with some of the music that dropped with it. I'm not gonna hold you, but I know the angle that Kanye is going at. So I'm not. All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is 5.9K for Kanye, and I get he released it under not Kanye. It's under Donda.
Right.
It's under Donda's name.
Oh, under the
Yeah.
record label is listed as
Which
The
is-
artist name is
yeah,
Donda.
artist name,
Oh,
which
the
is
artist
kind of.
separate profile.
It's not. I
Interesting.
feel like it's not my place to say because it's not my mother, but I just would think that that's mishandled. But that's another thing. That's another thing.
Another thing is because like, he put it under Donda and it's only on Tidal. Ain't that shit
No,
only
it's
on?
on
No, it's on.
Spotify.
It's on
Oh,
Apple.
Yeah.
it's on Apple now.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
So it got
No,
out
it's-
everywhere.
So
It's-
it got
it's
everywhere.
not-
It's still sold 5.9.
'Cause
it is not on Apple. No.
It's not on Apple.
It is.
I
I got it.
Spotify.
But let me
I
tell you,
listened to it on Apple. Did it get removed from Apple?
I fucking did some
I've looked
trial
up
on
Donda,
Tidal.
Kanye,
Just to fucking hear this
Ye.
album.
I've looked it all up. Nothing comes
Here.
up.
I got it right here on my phone. Let me see if it's still.
The
if it
crazy
still
thing
exists.
is, you know, my stem
I
player.
could be wrong, but I can't find it by searching.
Yeah. They did put down some of his stuff already. I did see with some of his.
Well, he also just dropped the song Heil Hitler yesterday.
Yeah,
Don't
that
demonetize this,
that
please.
was taken off
motherfucking owner.
SoundCloud today,
Yeah,
and it's
Oh,
even
you
suppressed
know
on
what?
X.
Which, like,
is
I mean,
crazy.
Like,
what do
it's
you
working for
expect?
me.
For one, I'm sorry, but like,
Yeah,
let's be
right.
real here.
But look, the thing is, like, normally it's a
Changed
color.
to Donda.
Normally it's a color to where you can click on the artist on
Okay.
Apple.
Well,
I think
don't know
Apple
if you're
took it
Apple,
off.
but
I think Apple took it off
why can I still play it then?
because you were probably playing it before they took it off.
Damn.
No, but
I
that's
don't
not
know.
true because when they take, I have a ton of like local artists that I rock with and whatever. In the
when
second,
they take something off Apple, it's down.
it's gone.
Like right now,
Really? But here.
you know how
I'll show you
What
this.
was that Pro Era project that came out like probably 4 years ago, 5 years ago? It was
Beast Coast or whatever?
Beast Coast. Yeah, that whole
okay.
that whole project
Oh,
got
yeah.
taken down. Did you hear about that a couple weeks ago?
yeah.
Yeah, it completely got taken down off like all streaming outside of like 2 or 3 songs.
off the strength of good music. Thank God.
It's a good album.
I hated that project.
It's great. There's a couple of songs that are actually phenomenal on that album, but the whole thing isn't great. But there's a couple songs that I don't give a fuck what you like. You could play your fucking, oh, I'm too good for that kind of game, but it's fucking fantastic. There's a couple of songs on there that are fucking hitters.
Which ones?
Fucking.
You don't put them on a spot like that.
You got Coast to Coast. You got fucking. Hold up. What was it called?
I don't remember these.
I can't remember the names of them. They're on my playlist.
Listen, we'll agree to disagree. New music though. Does anybody want to highlight? So there was a announcement, but before we get to the announcement, new music drop. This was a slow week. Not gonna lie, there wasn't really a lot to get to, but there was some diamonds in the rough, and I just want to say that I can definitely travel west. I have no issues out west. I don't need to check in. I don't need to do none of that because this Lefty
We'll see
Gunplay
when you go
album,
out there for the
Gunplay
first time.
went
this Lefty
crazy,
Gunplay
bro.
album is fucking crazy. Let me tell you why this is one of the best albums that dropped this year.
It's fine.
This album is
is
so unbelievably fire.
This album
The
is
sample,
fantastic.
I
the
mean-
fucking rapping. I did not know because
It's
I didn't.
fine.
I didn't know anything Lefty Gunplay could do besides spooky, scary, hilarious. I didn't know anything outside of that.
Because he knew something was coming.
He came in there and he
He
rapped
was like,
his
"Watch
ass
what
off,
happens."
and he didn't. He. The thing about West Coast music is so funny. You can have a soul sample. You can have a soul sample, and you're like, all right, it's a cool vibe. We switching it up, and then right after the soul sample comes a stomp, and you know right back where you are. It doesn't matter. It is so unapologetically West Coast. I rock with it. I rock with it heavy. It's smooth. The game features tight. He's got RJ Mr. LA. Shout out. That's one of my favorite artists. He had Ty on there. he didn't lean too much into features. Like he carried it himself. Lefty did a lot of good shit. He played into the slow jam sample that I showed you.
That was fire.
That was funny, dude. He did a skit where imagine being in an area where like instead of Anita and Luther Vandross, you playing YG and Nipsey.
Yeah, exactly.
That shit was so fire, but so funny to me. Like, dude, this project is, honest to God, this is one of the best albums this year. I'm ready to say that right now. Right now, obviously, it could change. I think it's a slow start. It's a slow start. You know how music goes. First half is slow. The second half picks up always. So. I would be shocked if this album's not in my top like 15 of the year. This is a phenomenal.
Mike's album today was way better, but that's my thing.
Mike's album's dope too.
I do just want to say before we get too far off is that I did try and share this Donda album, like to send it to myself off Chris's phone, and it says unable to share this album.
So you see how the Donda is like blacked out?
Yeah.
So you know how like normally it's
red.
like red? Yeah.
Yeah. So it
That's what I was
literally,
trying to
I
show
can't
you,
even send it to myself. So clearly it's been taken
just
down
suppressed,
or whatever.
I still got that one. I still got that one song lost in my head where he's not making sense. Where it's like in the boom 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 boom. That shit is still stuck in my head. I don't care.
I don't know, but either way, yeah. The Lefty Gunplay album was cool. It was fine. I thought it was. I don't think it's elite level rapping. Honestly, I really don't. Like, I think it's
really
fine.
fucking good. I think
It's cool. It's not like fantastic. I think Mike's album was way better.
I think Mike's album's good.
Yeah.
A million times over than that Lefty Gunplay.
Oh,
album.
see, to me, the way I would look at it is I would put them on the relatively the same ballpark because I think Mike's album ended up being probably one of my favorite releases this year so far. But I can't even come close to saying this level is above this Lefty album. This Lefty album, dude, the beat
selection was cool, but
it.
his rapping didn't impress me that much.
I'm the opposite. I expected these beats, but the rapping impressed the fuck out of me. Dude. It was really good, and we can agree disagree on that. But
I think what it was is he was trying, but it just didn't hit the mark for me. Like, I could tell what he was trying to do. I could tell he was really putting everything into it. I'm not going to say it's inherently bad because I don't think it's bad by any means. But, like, it just didn't hit the mark I think that he was trying to hit by the way, like, because a lot of it, he's trying to be more introspective. He's trying to hit these certain things. And, like, it felt a little like the way he was rapping felt a little elementary in a sense. Like, the way he was going about tackling these subjects, tackling the things that he wanted to talk about.
Honestly,
that's my takeaway from it.
But I feel like you could point to a lot of West Coast rappers and you could say the same thing. Like, you can point to YG, who I think is a phenomenal artist. And I think most of the time you can look at his takes or his overall message of a song as very elementary, very blunt, very direct.
Well, no, the message is high, but the delivery is elementary.
You do have the still braces and whatever where it's very conceptual, but
that's what I mean though, is that it's not about the content, it's about the delivery. I know what he was trying to do, I get what he's trying to say, but the delivery of it was a little elementary where YG does not. That's where I see other West Coast artists that don't have that.
But YG's also polished. I'm looking at Lefty as like,
yeah, he's still rough around the edges.
I knew 4 words of this guy before,
and that's fine. Yeah, exactly, and that's fine. Don't take it as me saying it's bad. I know you're not. I'm just saying is that I don't want to give it like a super praise of like the best album this week when I clearly heard another album that I thought was better.
That's
you know
fair.
what I mean?
That's fair.
I think Mike, he's only escalated. I think part of why I like that album is like you see his escalation and like how he improved. I feel like project to project, you see him improve.
And you know what I like?
So let me ask let me ask before you
No, go
jump
ahead,
in.
go ahead.
What are some of the specific like improvements that you see when it comes to Mike? Is it the penmanship? Is it the beat selection? Is it all
I
of
think
the
beat
above?
selection.
Is it the conceptual like nature that like he put together? Like what about this project? Because when I heard it, and granted, this is Friday, so we've
Yeah.
all listened to it once. So like
Yep.
we're not experts on any of these albums. We're not experts on any of these albums. As much as I praise that Lefty Gunplay album, it's off of one listen. So
I
you
would
give us
have
a-
to agree.
Yeah, you have to
hyped
give
up a
it that
bit
like
because I did
okay,
listen to it once,
I'm
but with
gassed
that-
off
that
it
first
now.
listen
Let's
was
see
cool.
how I feel in a couple weeks. But so that being said, not an expert about it, but what about that project stands out to you as somebody that like I know you
Yeah.
know Mike.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, there is a little bit of bias there. I mean, I'll just say that. But yeah, I mean, with it being conceptual, I feel like that's something that you can expect from a Mike project, right? So that's something that I can go and look in towards. Something that I think that he's improved a lot is like penmanship and flow. Not to say that he's ever been bad, but just the way he's able to,
It felt tightened up.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
Because, like, his last album that he dropped a month or two ago, like his solo project, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. But, like, at the same time, yeah, there was a little bit to be desired in that aspect of, like, you know, just tightening up the kinks and stuff. Because you can tell when you listen to a guy like Mike, like, that it's very, like, he's going into the booth and just, like, letting it fly. Like, it's not very like it's not super thought out, but he's like weirdly in this in between of a conceptual rapper, but kind of like approaches making music like somebody who is non-conceptual kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like there's like he's kind of a double-edged sword in himself.
yeah, I feel like he's been moving more in that non-conceptual route. I saw him a couple years ago, and it was just like kind of like zany, to be honest.
Yeah.
And
I don't know how he is as a live performer. I've never seen
okay.
him live. I'd love to. I've seen like a lot of his camp live, but not him.
yeah,
So, yeah, I mean, you know, I think he, to me, off the first listen, I guess I need more time with it because I didn't see nothing that I don't want to say impressed me because that sounds like I'm being too disrespectful to the project he released. But you know how you have artists where you're like, okay, this is what I expect from them. This is what I expect from them, and I think he delivered that. Like I think Mike is a
agree.
quality artist, and I expect quality when I get a Mike album, and I got that. I didn't notice personally off the first listen that the evolutions of it. So that's where I'm at with it. But you know, I'm gonna give it some time. I'm gonna rock with it. I got plenty of time. I got plenty of time to run through more albums and
See,
Give
yeah,
it
like
a visit.
I found like his beat selection, especially because the whole thing. This was a collab album with a producer who he's already made a collab album with. There's Pinball 1 with Tony Seltzer. This is Pinball 2. So he's already had a little time to sit with him and whatever. And I thought just like compared to the solo album that came out a month or two ago, whatever it was, I thought that he showed out a little bit more when it came like to the beat selection, to things like certain beats on there. I'm like, I wouldn't expect him to use what he's using now, you know, kind of thing. So I think I don't want to say there's like a lot to be desired, but I want to see where he goes with it because I really like Mike. And not to mention, of all things, is that the one thing that I've heard across all boards is that Mike is like the nicest fucking guy you'll ever meet in your life. Like every single person who's ever met him has came out and said like, yo, Mike was just a fucking stand-up dude, like really nice. And like that's literally
I
what I'm going.
appreciate Logic his ass.
But that's what right. But that's like literally like if you're a great rapper, you know, whatever, but you're a piece of shit person, that's gonna skew my judgment on the way
No,
that.
that's fair. That's fair.
I
I
listen
think
to
it has
things.
to weigh. It's like when you're like talking to a girl and she's like really attractive, and then she like sucks.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
then she
everyone
sucks.
gets turned
Yeah,
off,
and,
right?
and it's
Same
like
thing for
there's
music.
way
I'm turned off by any girl.
in some capacities you could like there's where do you separate artist from the art is a age old conversation. Like it's really hard to pinpoint that, but like Mike is a guy who
Kanye's past the example.
Yeah.
He was once a good
Exactly.
example.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it's way too far to where it's like, all right, you can't use that example because it can't be that bad.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
100%. And so that's what, like, I do like also, especially when it comes to rap music in general, because there's a lot of fucking shitty people out there. A lot of people who are just trying to make a name for themselves and don't give a fuck about anybody around them. But, like, Mike is somebody who is very, time and time again, shown up and shown out for his fans, the people around him. And so, like, you know, that literally, like, as little as that is, that doesn't make the music better, but that gives me a lighter sense in my head.
You look like you want to say something part-time, Potty. What do you
No,
want to
back
say?
to because you brought up Kanye again.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were about to bring up something else.
No. I was just gonna bring up how, what the fuck happened to him? Like, do you guys think it's because of the Kim situation that has it been that long since he's been on?
This guy's been on nitrous and refuses meds.
Even before that, like even
nothing-
before
there's
all that
nothing
shit.
to do with Kim
Up
Kardashian.
for years.
He's just-
Since Pablo. He's
been.
Where's the old Kanye?
He's always had this. He's always had this in him. It was just about. Presentation. I think that a lot of what Kanye is saying now, I'm not gonna say like he always believed this or whatever, but like a lot of the crazy parts about Kanye have existed. It's just now it's amplified because when you have success and you're allowed to surround yourself with people that won't say no to you, like I'm gonna do when this podcast blows up. like you can have a bunch of people that you can have a bunch of people. You can't tell me shit. You can't tell me shit. You're fired. No, but like
bro,
that's how he
Do not
approaches
get like
it.
Kanye, bro. I'm telling you.
That's
now.
how he
I'm gonna
approaches
tell
it.
your mama on you if you get like Kanye.
Yeah. No, you're not.
Look,
gonna
bro.
tell- you're not gonna
Somewhere
tell him.
somewhere
But-
in there, the old Kanye is still there.
No.
When I listen
No,
to Bully
he's done. It's
V1,
gone.
listen, hold up. When I listen to Bully, the album Bully that came out only on YouTube, I think. I don't know if it's on any other
It
platform.
was on streaming service as
And
a
it got
video,
deleted.
as a video. Like it was like a whole like video, so
Yeah.
it wasn't like separate.
So
songs.
when I listened to that shit, there was a track on that album that actually stood out to me, Beauty of the Beast. When I turned that shit on, I had tears of joy. I was like, dude, Kanye is back, I think. But like he's still fucked up.
That's what I think. I think everybody wants Kanye to be back, but he's just not, and that's truthfully, that's what it is, and you have to accept it. Listen, I honestly think nobody at this room loves Kanye more than I do, and I will be the first to say it is over. It is done. He is not coming back because of the myriad of reasons of the fact of you're surrounding yourself by yes men, and I don't want to get into all this, but I want to get into all
supposed
this.
to be a topic for a different day.
Yeah, I don't want to because it's not fun. It's not fun without Birdie because Birdie will defend Kanye. So then it's fun because you can actually have that back and forth.
But no,
But-
it's 100% true. I've been saying this for a long time. Is that like Kanye? Like the thing is like, bro, if you're really everything he does is trying to push the fucking compass in one direction. And what?
I'm just laughing because I know that when it comes to Kanye, I know where you're gonna go always, and I'm ready for it. I'm
Which
ready
is
for
true.
it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, it is true. You know exactly.
I feel like we hashed it out last episode, so like I don't want to get like
yeah, I'm
too-
not going too deep. All I
Yeah.
was saying was that like he tries to push the compass in one direction, and then he puts himself in a position for the compass to be pushed the exact opposite direction. When I really think it's pretty simple to understand your audience, read the room, and know that if you're trying to get your kids back, then shut the fuck up. It does. saying Heil Hitler or whatever is not going to get your kids back.
So
It's
is
not
he
going to
cooked?
bode well in the court of
Is
law.
he cooked?
Oh, he's cooked.
Is he cooked?
Yes.
100%.
Isaiah?
100,000%.
I think Kanye's going out in the flames of glory.
He's
Well
no,
done.
No, not
Well
in the flames
done.
of glory. He's going out in a bad way. Like he could have made this.
It
fucking
really
song.
it
It's
really
like-
upsets
it's like
me, bro.
I'm
No,
going-
I don't.
it's-
I don't
it's
want to.
like-
I don't want to be that guy.
I'm either
but
going out like very strong or not at all.
I don't want to. I don't want to be that guy. But like, you look at the history of Kanye, and it's like, and I don't mean. And I said this last episode. I'm not gonna belabor the point, but if you look at like, had just after Donda, nothing happened. And I don't mean he has to die. I don't mean he has to die. I'm not trying to push that narrative. But like, say he does like the Andre route where he exists.
And
He's
he
a
could
life,
do that. And you know
he's
what that is?
reclusive.
That's shutting the fuck up. That's exactly what I'm saying.
And guess what Kanye's life and resume would have been? Because the last 3 years before Donda were pretty turbulent. He had all the quotes that people were upset about.
And zero good music.
But then he came back with Donda, which was undeniable, which was like almost everybody universally praised that as like, this is like a Kanye album. It doesn't compete with like the first 5, but it's like damn sure knocking
But it's
on the
a
door
great-
of
it's a
everybody
great
else.
album.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
fucking
phenomenal
amazing
album. Imagine if he does that and then he shuts up. How different his reputation
So
is.
different.
That's what I mean.
That's just what it is. That's just what it is.
I think he obviously has that potential. Like this is gonna sound so crazy, but when I listen to like Cousins or something, I can still hear elements of a good song, like
the
in terms of
concept,
his singing and
it's
the
the thing
production.
that I hate about
is
that
there.
song and
That's
this
y'all
fucking
man.
Heil Hitler song. It's
Cousins,
like I
that's y'all
actually,
man.
sonically I like these songs. Sonically I like them.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Sonically I like them, but the message is.
So
just,
what I'm saying is like it's
Gone.
not like he doesn't want to do like anything like his first 5 albums because he can. I think he can. He just is not interested.
He's
in
more
it.
than
He's not
capable.
interested in making a
But that's
great album.
what's
at all.
always made Kanye great. And I'm not trying to have a whole Kanye conversation because we had it last week. It took over half the pod last week.
He's not great anymore
Yeah.
though. He's a fucking schmuck.
But
I'll
there's
fucking
people-
wipe my
but
foot with
listen,
him.
bro. But,
But
there's
that's
still
the thing
people.
about Kanye is he's not trying. What makes him great is also the same thing that kills him. The thing that makes him great is that he thinks outside the box. He challenges norms, whether it is musically, politically, socially, whatever. The thing that makes him great is that he does that. The thing that makes him great is that he's not trying to recreate College Dropout when he makes an album.
No, for
he's
sure.
trying to make something different.
He's trying to push it forward.
So that is a gift and a curse because sometimes you do that and it fails. And that's where he's at right now.
Controversy only gets you so far.
Can you imagine the people he hangs around with who are just telling
No.
him, "Yeah, Kanye."
Look at like take a.
It's nobody like us, bro.
Yeah, like people,
I mean,
people that
although
really
He's
like,
probably got
Although
Donald
it's-
Trump in
although
the
it's-
studio
We
with him.
we could talk about
It's-
Cooked. We can transition off of this. We can transition off of this. What were you gonna say?
Last
Chris?
thing I was just gonna say, although like it's court ordered, look at like as far as controversy and these, because the thing is, Kanye isn't somebody he doesn't need controversy to be famous. He doesn't need controversy to sell. He doesn't need controversy anymore. There was a time that's been Kanye's MO through his whole career, has been controversy album, controversy album, controversy album. It's been the
Right.
same thing. Every fucking drop
Same
that
blueprint.
he's ever had has always been controversy followed by an album. I'm in the news followed by an album.
Right.
He doesn't fucking need it anymore. If he just fucking dialed it down,
You know
he
what?
could be perfectly fine. All of this could be fine. Like if he just, and I get it, like you have points that you feel strongly about, but don't say that the media is coming after you or whatever when you're clearly going against the media
you're
before
baiting
the
them.
media
You're
is coming
baiting them.
after you. Like, it's your fault, Kanye.
Because look,
it's your fucking fault.
he's a complete idiot.
It is
basically.
your fault.
we can say that he's smart enough to know. We can say that he's smart enough to know he's baiting the media. So don't
Yeah.
play with the victim when you are baiting
when
them.
you are clearly putting yourself in a position
Right.
to be here.
So
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Is you are doing this to yourself.
Yeah, it's-
That's my whole. I've said that. I mean, it's kind of like a stripped back version, but like, shut the fuck up is literally like shut the fuck up, because you know that what you're doing and what you're saying and the way you're going about this is clearly putting you into a negative light, and as it should be, because the things you were saying are fucked up. Like,
You want to start a conspiracy theory?
no,
let's
I
do
want
it.
to
Let's
move
do it.
topics.
Let's do it right here.
I want to
Live
move
and direct
topics.
on the
I'm,
record. What if-
I'm off the Kanye.
What if Kanye was doing all of this stuff just to cause so much noise and whatnot, just to keep attention on him while some criminal shit is going on, like around it, or around Kanye? Like somebody's
Interesting.
Hey Kanye, I need you to
Because-
I need you to get in the
because-
media real quick.
Because Kanye
everybody's
is
got
so
their
heavy
don't
on
think-
about all the criminal activity
shit's
that's
going
going
on
on
over
around
here.
him.
I don't think.
What if he's the one masking the
Or he's a
criminal
I think
activity?
Kanye just
Yeah.
loves
And then
attention.
Kanye just uses the album as an apology. Like, I'm sorry, y'all know I'm crazy.
I think
I didn't
Kanye.
have
I
that.
think Kanye loves the attention. I don't think it's deeper
Hey.
than that.
he's cloned.
I don't think it's deeper. I don't think it's deeper than that.
I'm starting conspiracy theories.
Listen.
We don't know shit, guys. We're just living.
I don't
it.
know these people, but I'd
We
like
don't know
to.
nothing behind anything.
There's no way.
Anything could
There's
be-
no way to
anything could-
transition. But I'm just trying to
Transition.
get off of Kanye's
Get off
album
Kanye.
because I don't give a fuck about Kanye.
All right.
The person we gotta talk about is somebody who announced his album. That is Young JID, and he said God does like ugly people. That is the name of his album, dropping August 8th, I believe. Correct me on the day if I'm wrong.
God
August.
does like ugly people.
And he dropped Work, which I said on the podcast,
Lackluster.
lackluster.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think-
Not what I wanted, bro. You should have came a
So-
little bit harder than that.
Then he drops the album trailer, and here's what I'm gonna tell you guys. Is that look? This pains me to say it, but this is the truth. I love JID, so I'm gonna keep it blunt. The same way I keep my family blunt. The same way if one of my mans is fucking up, I tell them the truth. Y'all gotta lower your expectations for this album. You see this album right here, The Never Story?
Never happened again.
This album for JID fans, I promise you, you will be lucky if it reaches this level.
That's what I found JID off Never Story. It's the best.
So-
Even over Forever Story, I think it's the best album he's ever made.
Here's what this album is. Let me put it to you in context. Let me take artists we all love. Artists we all universally love. Everybody in this room loves them. Schoolboy Q.
Since Birdie's not here. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Schoolboy
I was
Q.
gonna say JID. Yeah, a few seconds.
Schoolboy Q. What does Schoolboy Q drop? Crash Talk. That's what you can expect for this album. You can expect this album to be a hodgepodge of bullshit. It's still okay because the artist is talented,
It's not inherently bad.
but it does not live up to their standard. Do not ever expect the Forever Story. Do not expect the Never Story. Do not expect DiCaprio 2 when it comes to this JID album. Because here's why. You drop a lackluster single that we are not feeling, or let me shift the focus on me. I am not feeling. JID dropped a single, Work. I don't think that shit is it. And you follow that up with an interview where you talked about, I thought the Forever Story was going to be it. And the Forever Story wasn't it. So now I'm like, fuck it.
It was good.
What kind
It's not it.
of motivation does that give you? Now, I'm not speaking to JID's part. I'm speaking to the listeners. I'm speaking to the consumers. When has an artist said that? When has an artist said that, yeah, this album that I thought was going to be it wasn't it?
But this
And-
one's it.
But he didn't even say this one is it. He just said, fuck it. When does that ever bode well for an artist?
So you think it's like his paycheck album?
I don't think it's a paycheck album. I think it's a. I don't give a fuck.
I think he's trying to. He's grasping at straws.
I think he's in the situation where he himself put his blood, sweat, and tears into an album, The Forever Story, which I think is a very, very good album.
Yeah.
I think it's a
Fantastic.
borderline
Fantastic.
classic. I think it's an
Amazing
awesome album. However,
Did it miss
However-
certain marks? Yeah.
did it reach the talent that I think an artist like JID could? No, it didn't. It fell short of that. How as much as I love that album, I think JID, I think the world of his talent, I think he could have reached a higher plateau than The Forever Story.
So you don't.
So
think it's gonna be
he
anywhere
felt
near?
he put that, and guess what happened? This is why I brought up Crash Talk, because let me walk you through this. What happened with Schoolboy Q's career? Schoolboy Q dropped Oxymoron, right?
Yeah.
Everybody loves Oxymoron. That's a classic
Probably
album.
my favorite Schoolboy Q album.
We love that album, right? We
Them
love
bl-
that.
them
We
Blank
love that
Face.
album. He drops Blank Face. We love that album, right? What does Schoolboy Q continue to do for the next several years after Blank Face drops? He says, fuck Blank Face. That's my worst album because I put my heart and soul in this album. Y'all wanted conceptual. I gave you conceptual. And guess what? I went to I went to shows. I went on tour and the tickets weren't in. I sold more tickets off Oxymoron than Blank Face. Fuck trying to appease the critics. Fuck that. That sucked. We all acknowledge in this room, and I will debate anybody that says otherwise, that Blank Face is his best album.
No,
I agree.
I don't. I think.
I don't.
Well, for me,
hold on.
because I'm
Hold on,
younger.
hold on, hold on.
All right, listen.
I'll let you voice.
All right, go ahead.
I'll let you voice. But he said, fuck Blank Face for 7 years. He dropped Crash Talk, which was a hodgepodge of bullshit. And I love Q.
Still a
and
good,
it's still
and
a good
it's still
album.
a good album.
It's still a
but
good album.
Nothing close to what
But
Blank
it
Face
doesn't
was.
touch Oxy. It doesn't touch Blank Face. It doesn't touch the greatness that Q is.
It doesn't fucking touch Blue Lips.
It doesn't.
It doesn't touch any album that he's no.
I think
Blue
that's
Lips
a little
is
debatable.
Fucking eons beyond fucking what.
I think that's a little debatable. Let
No,
me not get
that's-
off track. Let me not get off
Are
track.
you saying Blue Lips is better?
that. No, this is on
Let me
track.
not
That's
get-
fucking crazy.
Let me not get off track.
You're insane.
When Q does that, right? Like, that is where an artist reaches that point where they're rebellious, they're protective of their art. Like, Q gave everything he had to Blank Face, and while we loved it, you and I loved that album. Guess what neither of you and I did? Go to the Blank Face tour. We did not. But
And
yet, we
and
love
what
it,
did
and
not-
I'm not
And a
trying
lot
to...
of other people did not like that album as much as we did.
Exactly. And so what I'm saying is this is the common consensus that is Q's best album. Amongst most people on the internet will say that that's his best album. And he didn't get that response that matched what Oxymoron did.
Yeah,
So he thought,
because it wasn't mainstream.
fuck it. He thought, fuck it. I'm going to do whatever. And he had a lot of other situations in his life. Again, Mac passing, Nip passing. There was a lot of things that went on in Q's life. So, again, I'm not trying to play to that artist's point. But I think that Q looked at that situation and said, fuck it. I'm going to do me. And that's where JID is at. So I just want everybody to understand that JID is talented.
we know.
JID will give us an album that we like because he's JID. I think JID is incapable of giving us a bad album. But if you are expecting the Forever Story, if you are expecting better, if you are expecting JID as somebody that had the Forever Story, had momentum off of it, with surround sound, with the Imagine Dragons songs, JID is an artist that we've been saying for 7 years has the potential to be one of them ones. I said it first. He raps better than Kendrick, and he sings better than Kendrick. He should be a superstar. If you are expecting this album to be the album that makes him a superstar, I think you are gravely mistaken. I think you are setting yourself up for unbelievable failures. I don't think this album is going to be anywhere near. I don't think this album is going to be a top 3 in his catalog.
Who's he signed to?
Dreamville.
J. Cole.
I don't think this album is going to be top 3 in his catalog. And
No,
that's what I'm here.
want it
And that's
to
what
be-
I'm here
I
to warn
want
you.
it to be, but
It's not bad. It's not going to be bad. But I don't think it's going to touch the Forever Story. I don't think it's going to touch the Never Story. I don't think it's going to touch DiCaprio 2.
the problem is that like I don't think JID can reach the potential that we hold him to based on not only the camp that's around him, but also the quality of music that he's put out. Because there's no denial that JID has put out quality fucking music over the years. But like we're at this point where it's like we're at a standstill with JID. It's like, and we found this, but Platte specifically, like I think me and you have found this with a lot of people over the years. Is like, you expect greatness, and there should be in so many ways, and it seems so easy and so easily attainable, but then in practice, it just doesn't reach that potential.
Where do y'all think he is in his head while making this album?
He's in this. I thought my last album should have made it. He made DiCaprio 2, and what did he say when he made DiCaprio 2? What did he say? I'll bring up the exact quote if y'all don't remember. I remember because this shit sat in my brain.
I don't remember at all. Yeah, what is it?
He said, "This isn't my Good Kid, Mad City. Hey, y'all, I'm dropping an album. This album isn't Good Kid, Mad City."
Well, and
then he went away for 7 years. I'm making up a number. It was more like 5 or it was more like 5.
4
or 5.
Let me pull up DiCaprio.
He did that.
Too.
He did that. He went away for 4 or 5 years, half a decade, and then he came with the Forever Story. He didn't say shit about this should be my. He sampled Kendrick on the Forever Story. Mm-hmm. He made this clear that this is my moment. This is my coming of age. This is my debut album. Even though he's in his 30s, I know we love to think JID is some young artist, and he's not. And I'm not trying to put an age on rap. I'm just flat out saying.
Nah, he's
JID.
He's very quickly an old head.
JID has established himself, and he had that opportunity. He put his heart and soul into the Forever Story, which I think is a phenomenal album.
He's 34.
He's 34.
Our brother's age.
I remember hearing he was 30. I just didn't know how.
He's 34 years old.
It's so
He
crazy,
put his
bro, 'cause
blood,
he
sweat, and
looks-
tears.
He got good genetics.
Yeah.
He put his blood, sweat, and tears into the Forever
He
Story.
still looks alright. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
And while that album is good, nobody is saying that it's not. I'm not trying to discourage JID
the
from
Forever
what
Story
he
was
did.
great. But is it what?
But it didn't
after
reach
the
that.
Never Story, which is what we have up right now. Did it live up to that expectation?
No.
Not necessarily. And I don't think I'll take the Never Story off of. I'll put it basically over every other JID album. It was like there's something, and maybe this is a bigger conversation of maybe there's something to be said about the drive that artists have when they're really down and out and they don't have shit to talk about, or they don't have the backing when they're young and whatever. But that's when they're the most hungry.
Absolutely.
That's where we get the Never Story from. This album on display right here. The Never Story was fucking. It's
Listen,
his best,
y'all, this is trash talk.
But it is literally it's his best album. There's no fucking.
This new album is crash talk. Yo, you can't convince me that you announced an album 7 months in advance and it's gonna be a banger.
Hold up. What if you got Kendrick on?
I would love if. Because one thing I'm hoping for.
Kendrick would never do that. Here's why. Here's
Why?
why Kendrick would never do that.
There's a couple of reasons.
Kendrick is not gonna set himself up to where JID, his biggest comp is Kendrick. Kendrick's not gonna put himself in a position where he is working with somebody that is like his predecessor, his lineage, whatever you want to put it, and then gets bested. You are not going to do that. It's the same way that I know Nick Grant. I love Nick Grant. And he has told me directly. And I won't name the artist. But it's juicy. He has named the artist that verbatim. He is a lyrical rapper. You know what Nick Grant is about to do on a track every single time. He's about to snap.
Yeah.
He's about to go bar for bar with you. And he has had artists that fuck with him, that are going to do a song with him, but didn't. Why? Because, and I have to tell Nick Grant this every time, and I love him to death, but I have to tell him this every time. I have to tell him, you have to understand their position of it. You're looking at it from my sword versus your sword. Right? Pen for pen, who's better? Mm-hmm. Let's let it be known this is hip hop, this is competitive. But you gotta understand that I'm not gonna name a name, because then I'll tell. X name that's way bigger than Nick Grant. So what does somebody that is bigger than Nick Grant hopping on a song with Nick Grant do?
It does nothing for them.
It does nothing for them, but they have everything to lose. Because if you are a lyricist and you are bigger than Nick Grant, you jump on a song with Nick Grant, and if you win, you're supposed to win. You're expected to win. But if you lose, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
They have nothing to gain and everything to lose from that situation.
I agree, but like,
and some of your favorite artists that we mentioned 700,000 times on this podcast have avoided that smoke with Nick Grant.
No, I agree with what you're saying and shit. Like, it makes all sense.
So that's why Kendrick would never do JID.
But we're talking about JID and Kendrick, like,
yes,
two big artists, like.
But JID is not Kendrick.
I understand what you were saying, what you were like explaining.
Who does Kendrick hop in when he does a feature? Who's the only feature that Kendrick's done in the last year? It's Cardi.
A bunch of them.
It's Cardi.
Like,
and guess why it's Cardi? Because Cardi is popping.
He's the biggest in the game.
Yeah, Cardi is
huge, popping.
Yeah,
but guess what? Cardi is not in Kendrick's lane. You're not
Not
going
at
to a
all.
Cardi and Kendrick song and be like, who's gonna out rap who?
No, of course not.
And what I'll also conversely,
It's a layup for Kendrick. He's not gonna get in the room with Ransom. He's not gonna get in the room with the spitters that he respects. He's not gonna get in those rooms because guess what? He has everything to lose and nothing to gain from that.
And but what I will say about his like Cardi features is that what I could assume when he's going into these Cardi features is that like he's like Cardi has a lane. He knows where he's at. He knows exactly where he stands and everything. By Kendrick, tapping into this, Kendrick knows exactly what he's tapping into by getting into like when it comes to like Cardi specifically, it's like there's no fluff. Like everything is laid out like a fucking the Last Supper feast, like right in front of you. Like what you're getting into. So by him going into that, where like an artist like JID, Kendrick doesn't know. He can't predict the future of wherever
JID is a hungry rapper, bro. He's gonna come. If you give JID a Kendrick feature, which Off D's was originally supposed to be a Kendrick feature,
I can
and
see
then
that.
he got Cole
1,000%.
because Kendrick denied it. Why?
Off D's being a fucking
Kendrick
feature,
is
100%.
Kendrick is not gonna put himself in that situation. As if you're at the top, if you're the best basketball player in the world, you're not gonna play somebody with cameras that's below you because you have nothing to gain.
That's what pisses me off about Kendrick though is that like he just like doesn't pay enough. He does big time himself a lot.
But listen, I would love for him to hop on a track with Nick Grant. I would love for him to dabble in these other worlds. But the truth of the matter is I accept it because you know why? Because who's the artist that's doing that?
That's true. I mean, even with your basketball example too, it's like you're LeBron, but the guy you're playing against, he gets infinite redos too. because
Dude,
Jid
LeBron got dunked on at a high school camp, and that video still circulates.
Yeah, right. But now Jid, if he has that feature, he could, work on his
And
verse
Jid
for
is
3
gonna
months.
is gonna approach
He
that
will.
with a level of hunger that Kendrick can do what Kendrick does.
He knows he needs it.
He can be fire, but guess what? You are gonna write your fucking ass off. You're gonna write your fucking ass off. Just like if I get a call to be on the Joe Budden podcast tomorrow, guess what? I'm gonna deliver my best takes fucking ever.
You're staying up all night.
I'm staying up all night. I'm making sure I'm making sure every word I say is rehearsed versus what I do here.
You don't believe that Kendrick can hang with JID?
I think that Kendrick.
No, that's not what we're saying.
Well,
Yeah,
I do think that there is a very real world in which JID beats Kendrick. I do think that, but that doesn't mean that JID is a better artist than Kendrick because there's a lot to go with it.
No,
but
and that's what.
I had that song. I've said this.
I agree. In the sense
JID
of,
can rap better than Kendrick, and he can absolutely. There's no question sing better than Kendrick.
No doubt about it.
JID could be an
JID's
R&B
got the
artist.
vocals for sure.
What
But
I
as
don't-
far as
what-
rap better
what I
than
don't
him,
like
I don't
about-
know. I would have to disagree with you on that.
what I don't like about
I'm not-
this modern era of Kendrick is that Kendrick seems like operates like he feels like he's better than fucking everybody, and
He is.
if,
He is.
if
Rightfully so.
he's not in every aspect. No, he's not. Fuck no, he's not. Hold on, pull me back, hold me back. No, the fuck he is not better in every fucking aspect of music than other people. Fuck no. Are you out of your mind? No, Kendrick is really good at the things that he does, but he is not better than other people in the lanes that they're good at. He can't just take any lane and say, "Oh, I'm good at this, so I'm better than them." No, the fuck he can't. No, he is not. I'm sorry, but Kendrick is not better at all things than other people. Like that.
I think you're being way too specific in that point. In that I get what you're
I'm
saying.
saying
I'm not
rap specific alone.
disagreeing.
No, I'm talking just in rap. I'm talking about the
I'm
way
not
that you make
disagreeing.
music. No, Kendrick is not better in every way than these other.
If he gets on a Detroit beat versus Babytron, I get it.
Kendrick is taking it probably on a Babytron beat. I'm sure.
Yeah.
In
See, I disagree, but
in a lot of capacity, maybe Kendrick is taking it. But that does not mean that Kendrick is better than JID at rapping. That does not mean that Kendrick is better at beat selection than this person. That does not mean that Kendrick is better at all the key. You can be really good at some things. You can't be good at everything. It's impossible. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're fucking Kendrick Lamar or you're a fucking rally car driver. It really doesn't matter.
I agree.
Anything you do.
I agree. But you're arguing a point that I think is.
Didn't Kendrick
Let me not
teach
say
a,
this.
teach
I'm
a
not-
music class
I'm not
at Stanford?
minute. No, that's Lupe.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I
you're
mean,
right, you're right.
Lil B's taught.
That's
classes
that's
at
Lupe.
Harvard,
Kendrick's
so-
number one enemy.
He's
That
the
motherfucker
best
hates.
ever, dude.
That motherfucker Lupe hates Kendrick.
Yeah.
Talk about hate. Talk about hate, dude. I could never hate.
But that's a valid
I could never. Why?
Man, I don't know. Lupe didn't get he didn't get his credit.
He
just fell off. He just got out.
Man,
got-
this
he
is why,
got
this is why
shafted.
Birdie got to be here for this Lupe conversation.
Oh, yeah,
Birdie's,
dude, 'cause-
Birdie's a big Lupe advocate.
Yeah. Birdie's a big. That's what I don't get about Birdie.
I kind of agree with him though, in
Is
a
that-
way. Though, 'cause
I
Lupe
no
was cold, bro.
No,
You
Lupe
cannot
should
deny
have.
it.
Lupe should have been a top 15 to top 10 artist of all time.
hands down.
He should have been.
I think he let all that stuff get to him.
I don't think so. I think it was our situation. I
No,
think he
he-
didn't know. I think he didn't have the artistic evolution that Kendrick had, and we're not gonna have the
I
Kendrick
disagree.
Lupe.
I think that Lupe, it was the industry that got to him.
But I
I
think
really
it's
think
also.
that's
I
what
think
it
it's also
was.
the artistic evolution. I think it's
No,
both.
I disagree because honestly, you've been a bigger advocate for Lupe the million years over the past I don't know how many years. You've been
Lobsters are cool.
Lobsters are cool type shit. Yeah, you really like that, and I'm like, so like, Lupe has had his moments that he's been able to shine, and I don't think that he's shined in any capacity. But I'm just saying is like, I'm not throwing Kendrick a rope just because he is what he is to me and so good of a rapper, and he is my favorite rapper essentially. Like I'm not giving him that rope because that doesn't mean you don't need to make up for the other points. That doesn't mean you don't need to make up for, if you're featuring with somebody, are you approaching it like you're better than them or worse than them? If you're in any capacity of what this person does is how are you approaching it? What lane are you taking of this?
I love you,
Success don't
and
work
that's
like
I love
that.
you, and that's well thought out. But that's also a very. I'm gonna say this. It's a very cold take, but not because you're saying it. It's because I want to point that out to people that think that's a hot take. Like Kendrick is the king of rap right now, but he at the same time is not the best at everything. And that's what I think a lot of people don't understand. And that's what I think you're highlighting very well is that Kendrick, it can be the best rapper that is existing right now. And that could be very well documented and undisputed. That doesn't mean that he's the best at every specific thing because rap is so nuanced. There's so many categories, there's so many elements, there's so many layers to it.
You're right. So tell me how that doesn't apply to JID and Kendrick. Next to each
it doesn't. It does because I was the one saying that Kendrick shouldn't do that because who knows? Because Kendrick could be bested. I was the one saying that Kendrick could be bested.
That's the main point.
I was the one saying that JID is a better rapper than Kendrick and a better singer than Kendrick. Kendrick is a better songwriter, is a better album artist.
Yeah, for sure. That's really the point that I'm making is like, at what point do we draw the line?
It's very
between who, what you're putting into whichever side.
Depending on the line, I'm a gambler. Depending on the line.
Yeah, we know this.
I'm still a gambler. Shout out FanDuel.
Yeah.
Shout out nobody because you gotta pay me.
Yeah, you gotta pay us first.
But
Hold up before you continue that. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure they know that. Make sure they know they gotta like, share, subscribe. All of that stuff, bro.
I appreciate
'Cause I knew you wasn't
we are
gonna
well
do it.
past. I gotta be better at that. I do.
I knew you wasn't gonna do it.
But here's the thing about betting. Like if JID and
Here's
Kendrick,
the thing about sports betting. Let's take rap all the way out of it.
If JID and Kendrick are on a song
Let me explain to you how sports
together,
betting works.
if JID and Kendrick are on a song together, JID is gonna be plus money. He is going to be the underdog in that.
Sure.
Depending on the line, I would put a good chunk of change on JID. Like, if JID is plus 120, I'd be like, I won't touch it. I'll go with Kendrick. But if
Still
JID
seems shifty.
if JID is plus 300 to have the better verse than Kendrick, I'm taking that money. That's free fucking money. Absolutely.
I think the plus with, with so much of the Kendrick, I do feel like obviously he's got that GOAT status. A lot of it's his marketability. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where that plus factor comes from. Is like,
Right.
He's branded himself as the GOAT. Like, you could put him against like Black Thought or somebody, and I think Black Thought.
I would love to see that.
would win.
Shout to Nick.
As-
Shout to Nick Grant, because you know what Nick Grant said. You know what Nick Grant said? I love Nick Grant. I love being messy and being able to talk what rappers tell me. This is the guy Nick Grant. I said,
There's this guy, Nick.
I said, hey Nick, you nice, bro. You're one of the nicest rappers ever exist.
I'm convinced you're in love with him.
I think that dude is one of the best rappers on this planet, and I appreciate him for watching this podcast.
I thought you were gonna say, I think that man is the most handsomest man.
You are continuing to miss the cue, brother.
Dude, he loves you, Nick.
You are continuing.
You hard as fuck though, right? Pause.
You are
But
continuing to
right,
miss the
bro.
cue.
No, you're crazy, bro. He's
You are
sweet.
continuing to miss the cue. The thing about Nick Grant that we were talking about and that I respect is that he messaged me and he goes, hey, who do you want to see me rap against? And again,
Against?
we've had some conversation about rappers that will or won't entertain Nick Grant. So I had to like dig in the bag, and I was like, I want to see you against Black Thought. And you know what he said? And that's why I fuck with Nick Grant heavy.
He lose.
He said, that's one of the only ones that isn't scared.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, bro.
I believe it.
Listen, if I had all the power in the world, sign, seal, deliver, I'm booking that shit tomorrow.
Yeah,
A Nick Grant Black Thought record. That's what I need. That's what I need to see right there. That's what I need to see right there. Like the fact that he was like, yeah, he's one of the only ones that wasn't scared. He told me this. When he dropped his album Sunday Dinner, that was fire. He told me one of the things. I said, you got no features on that except one. You got Ransom.
Ooh,
That's your only.
Yeah.
Our Dealer is fire. One of the best songs of the
Put
decade.
me on.
I said, that's your only feature? He goes, yeah. That was the only rapper that wanted it.
That's tough. Wow.
I'm telling you,
Ransom's on that level too.
I'm telling you, bro.
I fuck with Ransom
Hey.
heavy.
Still till this day, I do not know who snapped harder on that track.
To this day, it is a great debate. I'm with you.
We don't know.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what Nick Grant's next album is gonna be, because the way he talked this shit on this single, and he's got another single dropping next week. I'm just saying, if you're in that lane, you gotta pay attention. You gotta be careful, because you're gonna get yourself body bagged. But going back to the whole debate of lyricism and the benefits that it has. Again, I don't think Kendrick has anything to gain from doing a record with JID. But JID has everything to gain from doing a record with Kendrick.
Yep.
So, as somebody that's in that position, you're just not going to put yourself in that position. That's the point blank matter of it. We love to be nerds about this art. The whole reason this podcast is here is because we love this art form, and we want to see these matchups. We want to see these hybrids. I love DJ Khaled. And why do I love DJ Khaled? Because he can make any combination happen. He is the type of person that can say, let me get Jay-Z and Nas on a song together.
Jay-Z, Nas, and
Anybody can do
Alchemist.
that.
Yeah, just the producer too.
Right.
Like
he can
Thank you very much
Yeah, I was
for
about to say.
highlighting the producer. Yeah.
he can do that, and we all love that, and we all would love to see that. But the truth is that not many people can make that connection happen. And yes, did that connection fall flat because it was a very like poppy record where they weren't trying to out-rap each other, whatever. But the idea of who DJ Khaled is entices me, because the idea of somebody that being like, yo, I can take you and I can take you and I can make a fire song. That's why Major Key to me is one of my favorite albums of the last decade. That album is not that great when you look at
It ain't
it.
the past decade no more, or it's
2016.
At the end.
It's approaching a decade.
Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it's at the end.
Oh, did you miss on another bet? Damn. I thought you were hidden. Always.
I just made one. What do you mean? I just made this.
Oh, you just made this?
Live bet. Yeah, we on it.
Live bet?
Well, I'm not
Damn.
tired of you
It's
supporting
about
this.
Five for 506.
Ain't me.
it's the first time I'm about to see a win.
5 for 506. $5 for $506, or
Imagine
$500
seeing
for
a win.
$506.
What? No, it's 5 for 506.
$5 for $506.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
You're fucking losing.
Test your luck.
I love you.
the thing about like DJ Khaled's albums, like he can get like the craziest names together, producer, artists, but like you said, Platte, like they're not trying to make like they're trying to make a poppy track. They're trying to make something that people kind of like sing along to,
It should be based off output.
It's fantasy sports, and that's what I love about that's what I loved about Major Key is like he put a song with Future and Bryson Tiller. I don't think nobody in this room got more excited than me, because guess what? That is an odd combination to put together, but I can see a world in which that worked in 2016.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see.
It worked a while ago. Yeah.
I love the fact that Future had a song with Jay-Z. That is generational plug talk. Like I love the fact that Travis Scott had a song with Lil Wayne on there.
True.
Like there was a lot of like he has the ability to make these like
connections.
If I were in Khaled's position, I would love to like play that fantasy of like, okay, you had Kendrick and Big Sean on a song, the first song they did together since Holy Key, or since Control, where obviously motherfuckers felt the way about that. That's dope. And then you had a Drake for Free song. You had Drake on his own song. Then you had Cole on his own song. That is the last album that had Drake, Kendrick, and Cole all together on it.
Hey, also shout out to DJ Khaled for having Nick Grant too. That Nicky Boom My A.
Yeah,
song.
that Nicky Boom My A is fire,
bro.
Yeah,
that is so fire.
That shit.
I agree though. Nick Grant has so much potential. I just hope I hope to see him grow. Honestly, I
think he's. I think he's gonna master his era, and I think he's gonna master his realm, and that. You look at a lot of these people that do successful things.
And he's also got a crazy amount of confidence. Like, he's ready to go at whoever the hell he wants.
No, dude, he's
crazy.
He's the one. I'm not gonna divulge.
Now that I'm thinking about it though, like him compared to like Cole Bennett, I feel like Cole Bennett does a lot of the same stuff with his Lyrical Lemonade albums. Mm-hmm. I feel like DJ Khaled's hit ratio compared to like. Again, like
it doesn't live up to what the rap nerd fantasy is.
Cole Bennett, kind of like.
I like that All Is Yellow album. I do.
He monopolizes like more of the underground as opposed to DJ Khaled They're doing the same thing, but DJ Khaled is the above ground, I guess. Like I don't know a way to explain it, but like Cole Bennett, I feel like focuses on the underground of that.
I think Cole Bennett is a smart guy, bro. He records.
No, he's great. I love Cole Bennett.
iPhone,
I think he's fantastic.
I think he's dope. I just think I like.
And I think he has the biggest hold on the music video industry in hip hop.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Past Spike Lee, it's Cole Bennett. That's what we have. It's Spike Lee and Cole Bennett. Those are the things that we have.
I don't think I've never seen a Cole Bennett music video miss.
The last thing I'm gonna say is this, and we had another topic. We could do that as a separate video, but we gonna keep the episode to
we'll wrap it up
to a T. So look, I have two gentlemen in the building that can really elaborate on this because I don't want this to be a long subject because it can be a long subject, but we are a year removed from the battle. We are a year removed from the battle of Kendrick, Drake, and I guess Cole.
Thank God.
So
featuring Cole.
So
featuring.
What we had is
Cole. That's
me,
great. Perfect.
Big AP, Birdie. We all spoke our piece on that. I'm down to keep. You know me. I'm always down to keep talking, but I'm gonna stay silent. But you two are people that I don't know how you guys look at the battle. So a year later, being reflective on the battle, what it did, what it is, your additional thoughts, and it can be light, it can be deep, whatever. I'm just giving y'all the platform because you guys are people that weren't around as the Rap Cave was covering the battle, so I want to give you guys a voice of it. So we are now a year later. I think we're like, this week was the anniversary of Heart Part 6. Like a couple of days ago was the Heart Part 6 anniversary.
Wow.
Where the battle like ended, where he waved the white flag.
It was so long ago.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It was a year
I
ago.
still remember that day. We went to B-Dubs. We
That
literally
all-
went to B-Dubs that day.
All of this
That's
happened. It was a year
That
ago,
was a
man.
year ago?
Yeah,
What
year
the
ago.
fuck?
Time flies, bro.
Wow.
So-
It moves so quick.
Where y'all at with
crazy.
where? Do you guys
Yeah,
have
it's-
anything that you feel like either hasn't been said or you just want to say? about
I
the
do
battle?
got something crazy. I mean, just real short on the battle itself. Honestly, I thought like it was a lot more competitive at the start. I feel like as the battles kind of went back and forth, Drake just started to fall off a little bit more each time. I will say this as someone who was covering hip hop at the time, and I don't know if it's the same for you guys. I'd be curious, but like things just reached like an all-time level of like annoying, where people would like hit me up and they'd be like, "Yo, what do you think about this battle going on?" And then they like people who never liked hip hop at all, like some people who don't even like music,
Bro,
would
so-
be
Yeah,
would
now-
be telling
now-
me
now
exactly like
everyone's
who won
involved.
and all
So
this
many
stuff.
different white
And it
dudes
was-
who never listen to
Yeah,
rap. They
I'm
were
like,
like, bro,
Why they gotta be
Yeah.
white?
what's up with Kendrick, bro?
Yeah, and
Why
then
they gotta be white?
Because they do, bro.
They
Every
are,
time.
'cause they are.
Yeah.
They are.
Every
They are.
time, bro,
Yeah.
they be like, bro.
'Cause they do.
And they come to me.
They
They
are.
come to me. And I'm like, what the fuck you know? I know.
Because
Yeah,
it's
right.
undeniable that that's the people
You don't
that
know?
listen to
Bro,
Kendrick.
you don't
don't
know?
know?
You don't know about the Kendrick Lamar Drake thing?
yeah,
Dude, bro.
it was crazy,
Bro, fucking Kendrick is tripping, dog.
Yeah, right. And people would watch like people who never liked hip hop would
Dog,
like watch
Kendrick-
a TikTok
They
about
call me
it,
dog.
and
I hate it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I hate your dog.
Yeah, they watch
Kendrick is
TikTok
tripping,
about
bro.
it and be like, okay.
They'd
this
act
is-
like the expert. I'm like,
thi-
dude,
this is
you
this
don't
is
even
now
like
my
this.
viewpoint. Yeah, type
yeah.
of thing. Oh, for sure.
And
So
I've dealt with that among a lot of people, 100%.
So what did you guys like? We don't have to like obviously dig deep into the resolve of the battle, but is there anything that stood out to you? Whether it like shocked you, whether it just that was interesting and it didn't get talked about. Like, is
What,
there anything? Is there
between them
anything
two?
about the yes, between these two? Because we've said our piece. We've talked this ad nauseum.
yeah,
So I'm giving the floor to the guest.
you want to go first?
It went exactly how I thought it would go.
Really?
Hell yeah.
I thought Drake was gonna win by a landslide.
Fuck no. I knew
I
Drake
mean-
didn't wa- that was a whole nother monster. Kendrick is too freaking witty for that shit.
But
He's-
Drake lost off the thing that made me think Drake was gonna win was that he was one battle tested, and two he came off the embarrassing Pusha T loss. So somebody that has that level of legacy wasn't gonna let that shit go down.
Push it.
That was one
this
of-
dude.
And he still lost.
Right, and I
he
was
thought
shocked
that
by
he
that.
can do better, bro. Oh, I'm gonna go for the next best. Kendrick Lamar. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah,
Let's try it and see
crazy.
what happens. Kendrick Lamar is too tapped in, bro, for that shit. He got too much respect around the world, bro.
He's too
Yeah.
smart.
Not around the world, but around
he's,
like the
he's
country.
too smart. The thing is
Too
like
witty, too smart, bro.
we're
he gonna
all
hit you.
we're all playing checkers while Kendrick Lamar is playing chess. Like he's too.
He is
he
building
really
his
is. He's
own.
The fact
he's
that he
too
had a
smart with
whole
this
record
shit.
ready in case you mentioned family is insane.
Dude had
is
he
too
had a file
smart.
cabinet with a rebuttal.
too-
Like, where is that?
That
Yep.
is insane. That is insane.
Got it.
We're going here. Bet. All right, let me choose between these five
Somebody
songs.
told him Kendrick had more stuff for him if he kept talking.
He did.
Of course.
Kendrick had more stuff. He said, what was supposed to be actually, it was like 10, 15 minutes long, which this was.
Oh, Euphoria was supposed to be 29.
Yes, bro. This nigga wrote a whole 20-minute song.
He wrote a
He
novel.
wrote
Much
a
an
Family
EP,
Guy
yeah.
He
episode
wrote a novel
long
when he
of
only
a
had to
hate.
deliver
I
a
hate
short
you so
story.
much. I wrote a Family Guy episode about it.
I can't hate somebody that much. That's insane.
Yeah.
Because like, what really pissed me off about the whole entire like beef, like how it all went down, is Kendrick just kept dropping. Like he just kept going.
I mean, Drake did
Like-
push him to do it.
But
though.
that was cool. That was cool, right? When Drake was for 2
When
weeks
Drake
saying,
said
hey,
drop,
hey, you
drop,
pussy,
drop.
drop.
Yeah, hey, keep
That was
dropping.
cool, right?
And then he keeps
But that
dropping,
shit
and
wore
now
off.
everyone's like backtracking, like,
That shit just
oh,
wore
I
off
didn't
the
want
whole
him to
beat,
drop
like-
that much.
Yeah.
Like the whole beat just wore off. Like he just kept dropping. But I'm not gonna lie.
And every time he dropped, that shit was
Hey,
fire.
Platte
He was
like,
like, ooh.
Platte about to be shocked what I'm about to say because my perspective of the whole entire beef has changed in a year. Like listening back, Kendrick did win,
Wow.
but
Where the
I'm
fuck
still
you get
gonna
your
like
head
Drake
hit?
better. I'm still
That's
gonna like
fine.
Drake
That's
better.
fine.
That's fine.
I would
We're
wanted. I
talking
would have
about the
wanted him
battle.
to win. That's why I was so fucking fucked up in my head. I was like, look,
But
I know Drake won. I know
There-
Drake because I
but-
love Drake.
But there's no
He said Drake
denying
won.
that Kendrick absolutely fucking dog walked
Dog
him in that
walked.
He
entire beat.
won that whole
There's not
entire
even
thing.
a fucking
That was-
question for
that was
anyone who
straight
has
belt to
anything
ass
to
right
say.
there.
Hold on, let me flip the camera to me.
fucking rap beef. He's
Anyone
just
who
trying to
has
get his party
anything to
lit.
say, flip it to Big AP. I got something to say. If anyone thinks that Kendrick did not fucking win that shit, you're off your fucking rocker at this
Yep.
point.
Yeah, bro.
Honestly, like it's not. It's undeniable. Like that's the thing. It's not.
undeniable, yeah.
It's not even up for debate anymore.
It
This
was all
is
him.
Niggas
It's
saying
all
the-
Kendrick.
He's saying the
Grammys,
diss song
Kendrick.
at
Super Bowl.
the
Kendrick.
Super Bowl. He sang a diss record. He had the whole Super Bowl
He was
calling
at
you
the
a
Super Bowl
calling
talking
you a
about
pedo, bro.
pedophile. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
sued him.
Yeah, just
Who
suing.
wins
that-
and sues?
At that point, you lose
Who
automatically.
wins
Hey,
and sues?
This is the quietest we've seen Drake.
Told, bro, you snitched.
I swear.
Who wins a battle and then I'm gonna sue after?
Does that make him a rat?
What?
Does that make Drake a rat?
It makes him weak.
Hey, I got a question actually.
No,
for
you
everybody.
are right. 'Cause
I got a question for everybody. How long did Drake go quiet after the Pusha T thing happened? Did he go quiet
He
for a little
didn't.
bit? He didn't go quiet, right?
He dropped Scorpion.
So, okay, there you go. Did you think after this Kendrick beef he would do the same thing, like go drop an album? But he's been quiet.
But
Bro, this is the
but
quietest I've ever
Pusha
seen
T
him.
didn't drop a Not Like Us. Pusha T didn't drop a record that got played in the club. He dropped a song that said, "Hey, guess what? You have a kid, and we know it." And then he was like, yes, 100,000 people know that I have a kid. I guess I gotta acknowledge this kid.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
Kendrick is playing a song
But yeah.
that gets played in front of strip clubs.
it gets played every single day. It gets played.
Pusha T, that song was a great diss song. That did not get played in the strip club. Nobody
Okay,
was twerking
but
to
like,
that
why
shit.
would that shit get played in a strip club, bro?
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that's the
That's
the
the
That's
thing.
a
effect.
diss.
Don't
That's
be-
a
don't
diss,
be
bro.
mad
That's
if
like
you
that's
can't
like that's a
fucking
diss.
deliver.
If you think about a diss, that's a
Drake
diss.
frequents the strip club. He's been in Houston and he said, "Hey, don't play that record because I'm here."
So don't be mad if whatever record you put out doesn't deliver.
Because he
in the
did that
same
with
way.
Meek with back to back.
You know what else
Yeah.
was funny about this is like every time he would go out, bro, somebody was playing that fucking song, and he would just be like, he just sitting there so mad.
Mad as fuck.
Man,
yeah,
that video of
that's
him
what,
being mad
you
when
want
they
to
play
talk
it,
about
that's
who
just
won.
cringe
before he
But
leaves.
You want to talk about who
Yeah.
won. Clearly, it's getting into Drake's head way more.
You just sit there so.
But he was
you
unbothered.
imagine, like,
though.
you got
that was
but
a,
he
you
was
know they're
un-
gonna play
that was
this,
But-
what
but
that was
he
what
was
academic
unbothered.
said. Academic said I talked to academics at Mall said I talked to Drake. He's laughing about this. He's laughing about the song. He thinks the song is cute.
No, he's
Oh,
not.
yeah?
No,
That's why
he's-
you're suing?
He's hurt. He's
That's why
hurt.
you're
He's
suing?
hurt. You can see he's hurt though.
You
Oh,
can
man.
tell he's hurt.
So it's a joke, but you're suing.
Yeah, it's a joke, but you're suing. It's a
Well,
joke, but you're
let
clapping
two things be
back
true.
in every
Listen,
way
I'm not
possible.
trying to dunk on Drake because I'm the most objective
I love Drake,
person
but,
there ever is.
But
when it
somewhere
comes
in
that's
his
what
head,
they
he
say.
knows he lost too. So
But-
he knows.
Yeah, he got
But-
disrespectively ducked on.
But do you have anything? Do you have anything to add?
Yeah,
to it?
my last thing, it's a slight change, but like one peeve about the whole beef was I feel like, you know, in response to all the bonus diss tracks, it's got to be treated like a presidential debate. Like you can only add something if you get mentioned. Like Metro Boomin got called out by Drake, and then he did his beat.
Which
BBL
I
Drizzy.
will
Fire.
say,
BBL Drizzy,
out
which
of
is
the-
goated.
out of
that
the
was one of the
entire beef-
biggest things of the rap.
Out
beef.
of the entire beef of all of this, I think that was actually the smartest. And funniest thing that
Yeah.
anybody could have done.
Because as a producer, that's
That
the
was
best
good.
you can do.
I like
It's
that.
the first
but-
time. It's the first and only time in rap history that a producer has responded by production.
because
And won.
Yeah.
because
And what?
no, because honestly, it was so funny. Like when Push Ups dropped, I was like, "Oh damn, that was so fire!" When he just said the simplest line, "Metro, shut your ass up, play some drums."
Yeah, right.
I was
And
like,
he said,
"Damn!"
"You know what?
I was like,
I'm
"Damn."
gonna shut the
I'm
fuck up
gonna
and play
do
some
it.
drums,
He
and I'll
took
still
one
body
line.
your ass."
He took
Yeah.
one line.
And cleaned him.
No, Drake took one line and was like, "You're done," and I was like, "Damn, he is done." And then the fact that he came back that way, man, shout out to Metro. That was funny.
But on the
It was
opposite
so
side,
fun. That was the best marketing fucking strategy he's
Absolutely,
ever had
yeah.
in his life.
on the opposite side though, like people, so Metro Boomin, yeah, like shut your hoe ass up and make some drums, like. But now, like when Rick Ross and Ye get involved, like, and at the time maybe it was all right, but I think now in a year retrospect, they're complete like waste of.
Well, Rick Ross
space.
said he was
None
gonna.
of them should have gotten
he-
involved in the
Rick
first
Ross.
place.
Yeah.
Rick Ross said he's cool to opening the door with Drake, and that makes sense because guess what? I love Rick Ross, but
Drake gave Rick Ross
Drake
his
gave
career.
Rick Ross a lot
Yeah.
of fucking hits.
Of course.
He really did.
I think all of his like top 3 songs out, and his biggest song is the diss on Drake, and then the next 3 are with Drake.
Like
So,
I think the concept of the Drake stimulus package gets a little overhyped. Of like people are
But there's
like,
certain people
oh,
that
the
apply.
Drake stimulus package, but like Rick Ross is one example of it's the Drake stimulus package made him famous. Like it really did. It 100%. There's very, you know, you can argue with me on that point, but like Rick Ross is a prime example of the Drake stimulus package.
I agree. So when you look up, like, you could go to YouTube and type in like all the diss tracks in the beef, right? Like if they have like the Rick Ross,
Champagne,
yeah,
something or
yeah,
whatever.
the
Champagne something.
Champagne moments.
yeah, right, that and the one that Ye did, I think is just filler. Like that does not belong in that
Yeah,
video.
I'm not saying that he actually
yeah.
added anything to the beef or whatever,
Like
but
Kanye, shut the fuck up. You did not have to say anything, bro. Seriously.
that's
Hey,
what
Doc, I got you.
exactly.
I swear, bro,
That's
he
what I
didn't
keep
say shit.
fucking saying.
Yeah.
Kanye, shut the fuck up.
I think we can end it there, gentlemen. I think we end it with Kanye shutting the fuck up.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to end it.
No, y'all shouldn't have said shit. Y'all ever realize all y'all gotta do is just not pay attention to him, or then he'll just stop.
And I think a lot of people are, and I think that's indicative of 5.9K.
And we're also paid or not paid to pay attention or not pay attention to these
We're just,
things.
at this point, we're just letting the baby tantrum right now.
Even
Letting
his
the baby
fucking
throw a tantrum.
even his fucking Yeezys are dropping, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That's fair.
Bro,
Damn.
all
I
the,
know- I
the
guarantee
shoes
you
dropped
bought a pair
in
of
price
Yeezys.
like
Don't act like
immediately,
that.
like
You've
100%.
you've definitely bought a pair
Yeah,
of
dude,
Yeezys.
I was happy as fuck when I saw
Nah,
it go
bro,
down.
you don't cap like that. Don't cap like
that's
that.
crazy, though.
Knowing damn well you done bought a
Hey,
pair of them shits.
Okay,
Yeah,
obviously,
you got them bullshit
obviously,
flops.
All right.
Them bitches look
yeah,
like
obviously, it's one of my
flip-flops.
favorite shoes. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh hell
But
no.
it
Bitches look
dropped.
like flip-flops.
They
All right,
dropped.
everybody.
Exactly.
That'll do it for episode 50. And that'll do it for episode 59. Please drop in the comments below your favorite brand of Yeezys that you bought. I'm Chris Platte. I'm aka Platte Paz with my dogs. I got Zay.
What up,
I
dog?
got
Yes, sir.
EB.
Thanks for having me
Yeah,
back
I got
on.
EB. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
You're welcome back next week. It's gonna be a gauntlet, but you got a spot. I know somebody. I'll get you connected.
Yeah.
Part-time
Part-time
potty.
potty, going to
Part-time
full time.
potty.
We got
Big
payroll.
Big AP on the
Yeah.
ones and twos.
Big
Shout out to him
AP.
because he's not gonna be here next week. He's gonna
I'm
be
not
on
gonna be here next
vacation.
week.
It's not
Y'all
a paid
survive without
vacation.
me.
It's not a paid vacation. Let me just
Hell
set
no,
the record.
he didn't have any PTO.
Yeah, he didn't have no
No
PTO.
PTO.
But thank y'all everybody for tuning in, tapping in. We appreciate y'all. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts below on all the new music that dropped. JID's album Expectation, Kanye, Izzy Wash. Also, the Drake Kendrick battle a year later. What are some of your best thoughts on it? We will catch y'all on the next episode next week, episode 60. Peace out.